Michael Andrew Fox was born in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada on June 9, 1961, the son of William and Phyllis. William was a 25-year veteran of the Canadian Forces who later became a police dispatcher, while Phyllis was a payroll clerk and actress. Fox is of Irish, English, and Scottish descent. His maternal grandmother was from Belfast, Northern Ireland. His family lived in various cities and towns across Canada because of his father's career. Citation needed. They finally moved to Burnaby, a large suburb of Vancouver, when his father retired in 1971. His father died of a heart attack on January 6, 1990. Fox attended Burnaby Central Secondary School, and now has a theatre named for him at Burnaby South Secondary. At age 15, Fox starred in the Canadian television series Leo and Me, produced by the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, and in 1979, at age 18, he moved to Los Angeles to further his acting career. Shortly after his marriage, he moved back to Vancouver. Fox was discovered by producer Ronald Shedlow and made his American television debut in the television film Letters from Frank, credited under the name Michael Fox. He intended to continue to use the name, but when he registered with the Screen Actors Guild, which requires unique registration names to avoid credit ambiguities, he discovered that Michael Fox, a veteran character actor, was already registered under the name. As he explained in his autobiography Lucky Man, a memoir and in interviews, he needed to come up with a different name. He did not like the sound of Michael A. Fox during a time when Fox meant attractive and because his A sounded too much like the Canadian A. Fox also disliked the sound of Andrew or Andy, so he decided to use a different middle initial and settled on J, as a tribute to actor Michael J. Pollard. Fox has been open about his declining health over the years due to PD, which has seen him struggle with the loss of speech, tremors, and more. Most recently, the 61-year-old has opened up about issues remembering acting lines. Roughly 70% of Parkinson's sufferers are said to develop dementia. Over the last few decades, the star has at times managed to get back into acting. He played an OCD-suffering doctor on Scrubs back in 2004 and has recently featured in films such as Back Home Again and The Good Fight in 2020, a spin-off from The Good Wife. But the task has become harder alongside the progression of the disease. He reportedly retired in 2020. Fox told Mike Birbiglia's Working It Out podcast in May, "When I did the spin-off from The Good Wife, which is The Good Fight, I couldn't remember the lines. I just had this blank, I couldn't remember the lines." Previously, such as in Brian De Palma's 1989 film Casualties of War, the star has had no problem at all, and used to memorize lines without a trickle of sweat, he said. "I would have 70 pages of dialogue on a Brian De Palma movie, and knowing that a hugely expensive Steadicam shot depends on me knowing the lines, not a trickle of sweat on my brow." For some, the fact Fox is even able to act at all might seem surprising. The actor was first diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 1991 and told he had only a decade left of acting. "I'm kind of a freak. It's weird that I've done as well as I have for as long as I have," he told the AARP magazine in November 2021. Parkinson's disease is a progressive, neurodegenerative condition. Its most common symptoms are tremors, slow movement, and inflexible muscles. Parkinson's is linked to the destruction of a part of the brain that produces a chemical called dopamine. The reduction in dopamine, which helps to control muscle movement, is what causes the symptoms. Citing recent research, the Parkinson's Foundation explains that roughly 70% of people with Parkinson's will develop dementia during the progression of the disease. As well as affecting memory, the disease can affect people's speech. Fox's foundation explains, "People with Parkinson's might slur words, mumble or trail off at the end of a sentence. Michael J. Fox wasn't spared from this fate. In recent years, he has described how speech problems have also gotten in the way of his acting." He said to AARP in 2021, I reached the point where I couldn't rely on my ability to speak on any given day, which meant I couldn't act comfortably at all anymore. So, last year I gave it up." In this interview, he also offered some words of wisdom for Parkinson's sufferers. He said, "Have an active life and do not let yourself get isolated and marginalized. You can live with it. People sometimes say that a relative or a parent or a friend died of Parkinson's. You don't die of Parkinson's. You die with Parkinson's, because once you have it for life, until we can remedy that, and we're working hard at it." He also suggested doing regular exercise and eating well. Fox's honesty has helped to raise awareness of the disease. Also, his foundation has had a significant role in funding research. The Michael J. Fox Foundation even hit the top 100 list of U.S. charities on Forbes last year.